to Small Town Big Mouths podcast, where our three hosts will be unraveling tales about dating and life in general that will have you laughing, nodding your head, and even cringing in sympathy. So sit back, buckle up, and get ready for the ride.
Welcome back to Small Town Big Mouths. This is Amber, your one and only.
And this is Nikki, your resident bartender. Today we are sitting here with, I feel like I'm going to cry right now. I don't know why. I'm getting emotional. We're sitting here with a friend of mine that I've known for 20 plus years. This girl walked into the bar where I work. She was freshly 21, super cute. I'm going to have to show you a picture. Maybe I can get a picture to put up on Facebook because I do have some pictures.
Go ahead, make my job harder.
Well, at least I can put it on the TikTok.
Yeah.
So she comes bouncing in and she's like, are you guys hiring cocktail servers? And I'm like, no. And then we started talking, but I'm like, you'd make a great bartender and I will train you. And it turned out she made a great bartender. But then she moved on to pursue her goals, which, can I say what you...
Yeah.
She left to be a police officer. She was with Fresno PD. She was with CHP. She has done... You're the only girl that I know, like, people set goals. And most people, they reach out to accomplish their goals. Debbie doesn't just reach them. Debbie, smashes them into the ground, kicks them to the side, and goes past them. It's the craziest thing.
That's what she told me about you, just so you know.
Oh, I love it.
That's Debbie in a nutshell.
She smashes them. I'm
yeah.
like, okay.
It's not just like, this is my goal and I'm here and I'm done. It's like, here's my goal. Now I'm going to just smash it into the ground and fucking go beyond. Because that's what I think of Debbie. So anyway, this is my friend Debbie. Debbie, say hello.
Hello, hello.
And the reason Debbie's on today is because we talk a lot about mental health. But today we're going to talk a little bit about physical health. I don't know if I've shared my story. I don't know if I have. I think I have. I am tired all the time. It doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter how many blood tests. It doesn't matter how many doctors I go to. It's the same thing. Nothing's wrong with you. Something's fucking wrong with me, okay? I don't feel good. I'm tired. I could sleep all day.
Which leads us into the testing that you did. It was a hair tissue mineral analysis, HTMA.
Yes. So Debbie actually contacted me and she said, I have something that I think you might be interested in. And I was like, okay, what is it? And so she told me. And so they sent me this packet. I think it was like $150 for the testing.
Yeah.
Okay. So you pay the $150. Insurance doesn't cover it. Now I have a question. Can men do this too?
Yes.
Okay. Because I feel like, and you also have to have so much outgrowth of not colored hair.
Yeah, you could have colored hair, but you want it to be as much growth as possible. So if you get it colored every 6 weeks, that's fine as long as you've washed your hair between 14 to 21 times before taking the test.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I haven't colored my hair in a long time, so I wasn't worried about that. But I washed my hair, didn't put any product in it. And then they send you this crazy, it's like a piece of cardboard and it looks like a teeter-totter. If the sides fold down and it's like this. Okay. So you can measure the hair, I guess if you had a scale, or you can use this thing. And so my aunt was helping me because you have to get it from the back of your scalp, right? And so she parts the hair and she cuts, it's an inch and a third or whatever.
Yeah, it's about 1.25 inches.
Okay. So she cuts a piece and she sets it down when it's supposed to be when you set it on this teeter-totter thing. Once the side of it that you're putting the hair on touches the thing, it touches the counter or whatever flat surface you have it on. That means you have enough hair. So she cuts the first piece and she puts it on. That thing fucking did not budge. And I was like, what? Wait a minute. How much hair do I have to fucking do right now? But then the next piece, it went down a lot. And then it was so it was 3 different pieces across the back of my hair in 3 different spots.
Yes.
Okay. So then I sent the results in and Debbie had my results, but I wanted them to come on so everyone could hear them. So I haven't heard these results yet.
So so this will be interesting. Hopefully it's not too bad, Nikki.
Well, it's nutrients, really. So it's not going to be you're going to tell me, oh my God, you have cancer and you're going to die. No.
No,
yeah.
I'm not, because I'm not a doctor. I do not diagnose anything.
Okay.
But I feel like before you say, Debbie, read me these results of this hair tissue mineral analysis, I feel like I have to qualify myself because you went straight from, she was a police officer and a CHP officer, and now she's reading my minerals from my hair.
I skipped over the part where Debbie now is a nutritionist,
It's my side hustle.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still an investigator, but I decided back in 2019 that I said, I kind of like worked out my entire life. And if you know me, if you know who I am, I've always worked out like a beast. I was in the military, also was in the military, and I retired in 2021. So I did 21 years.
She retired as a captain, you guys. Yeah, she's not just some little fucking peon peasant girl. You're a badass.
I love it. I mean, thank you, but I don't know. I don't always feel like that, but I kind of just worked out like a beast my entire life, and I outran a bad diet. And I have one dude, she literally told me yesterday, Debbie, I'm so proud of how you eat now, because she told me that I used to eat grilled cheese sandwiches.
Oh, yes. I told you this yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah, you ate like a 12-year-old child. We would go someplace and this bitch would have fucking chicken nuggets and a grilled cheese. And I'm just like, how do you have that body when you eat like that?
Let's talk about the dessert right after fucking our full 5-course meal last night. Jesus, I was the only one that didn't eat dessert because we just ate.
Yeah.
I mean, but I have a dessert stomach, and so I saved that dessert stomach so I could eat yesterday. But I don't always eat like that. It's seriously, I've learned how to eat in moderation. But the reason why I'm telling you this is because I first started out, and when I was 38 years old, I decided, you know what? I saw one of my friends, she retired from the CHP, and she came back a year later, and all of a sudden her body transformed. And I was like, whoa, what did you do? So she hired an online nutrition coach. And I was like,
transformed in a good way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. She just literally looked like a different person in terms of her body composition, everything. And she kind of was always somebody who worked out, but I just didn't see her. She kind of had that body, like she kind of just didn't work out, but she always did. So it really was like, wow, it was eye-opening because it was her body and her workouts, and it was her nutrition. And so now that I like fast forward to, from 2019, what happened was I was like, wow, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this course, right? I mean, it wasn't a course. It kind of was like taking a course, and my body was the practical. That's the way I looked at it. I put money towards it. Anything you do, if you're getting it for free, most likely you're not going to work at it. You're not going to try hard. Right. You're just kind of going to, you're getting it for free. So you have no skin in the game.
Right.
So I said, okay, it was like $299 for 12 weeks at the time. The program was called Stronger You. And basically, I had no idea what a macronutrient was. And I don't know if anybody does. And I never assume that anybody does. But macronutrients are everything that our food is made of, including micronutrients. But macronutrients are carbohydrates, fats, and protein. So basically, I hired this online coach. I was seriously like the perfect, candidate. They gave me a guidebook. I read it, and then I logged my food, and I made sure I hit my macros every single day. That's what I did. And within 12 weeks, I didn't even know what my body was capable of. But when I went to go get my body fat tested, the guy was like, "Are you trying to get ready for a show?" I'm like, "Oh no, I was just watching my nutrition." Like, yeah, I mean, I started seeing like muscles in my stomach that I never seen before. And if you could ask Nikki, since you and I just met, I mean, I was always in shape, but I never really saw like those kind of muscles. And we all have muscles. They're just covered up by, some fat layers.
And the crazy part is Debbie and I are like the same size. We wear the same size clothes. But when you look at Debbie compared to me, I mean, yeah, she's 10 years younger, but like her body is way more defined and in better shape than mine. But we're the same size, weigh the same, wear the same size pants. Like when we would hang out, I'm like, how in the world, when she would like, oh, I can wear those pants. I'm like, no, you can't. And then she would like put on a pair of pants of mine or a shirt of mine. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Yeah,
Yeah.
But you look at her and it's like, when she told me yesterday, what did you tell me you weighed? 160?
160.
Yeah. And I'm like, no way. That's not 160.
And I misspoke. I did. I weigh 157.
Okay, well, whatever.
Wow.
Yes. So the reason why I'm telling you this is because I've said, oh my gosh, when I did that and with my own body, I was like, this is seriously and I kind of feel like I did fad diets, but I couldn't stick to them. I literally couldn't even stick to a fad diet for 3 days. So I tried the random fad diets, like the flushes and the toxins, the fad diet, the Atkins and everything you could think of. I literally tried it, but not because I really wanted to lose weight. And I guess really that was the thing. I really didn't care. I just wanted to try it. Right. And I just couldn't stick to it. It was so restrictive. I just couldn't stick to it. So
go ahead.
So I decided, I'm like, wow, I really want to be able to teach. And so I really kind of took it in and said, I want to help all the women because I know I'm a woman. I know how all these issues we have and these, limiting beliefs that we have and stuff that sets us back. And then, do we have willpower? What in the world is it? Right. So I started.
It's the kids.
Yes. I'm going to say fortunately, but I unfortunately do not have any children. So that is a different, kids add a level of stress and havoc on your body. They do. But, so fortunately I don't have any kids, so I don't have that havoc wreaked on my body. But, I have everything else, stress in my life and everything else. But, I decided that I wanted to start teaching women how to eat and like lose body fat. Cause really we all think we just want to lose weight, but really we want to look good in the mirror. That's what it was. So if I weigh 160 and I look good in the mirror, that's really what I care about. It's really about how I feel inside and what. So fast forward, I changed my master's degree to exercise science, nutrition, and wellness from criminal justice. And because I was like, what am I going to do with this criminal justice degree? I'm already doing all this, military and law enforcement stuff. I want to do something that I'll later be able to use. So changed my master's degree, then and I'm still not done with my master's degree because I've taken detours, because as I've taken my classes and my master's classes, I've now been like, wow, I really need to learn about holistic health.
You found something else interesting.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
So I went and took like a holistic nutrition course with the emphasis on weight loss. And then I was like, wow. And then so I, did another class, and then I'm like, wow, I really want to learn about this. Like I started taking certifications so that I'm like, I have like menopause and perimenopause and Hashimoto's and PCOS. And like that stuff has really interested me. So and then all my clients, my ideal client, as you would say, basically we're all women in their 40s and above that are in perimenopause, postmenopausal. They're coming to me because they've tried everything. And just like Nikki said, she's like tried everything and she's gone to doctors and she's tired. She doesn't know why. She thinks it's her thyroid. Women think it's their hormone and everything else. And I couldn't help them with just nutrition because I didn't know what was going on in the background. So fast forward about September 2023, I signed up for a course called, it was a certification to be a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner. So now I am still a nutrition coach. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a dietitian. I'm a dietitian. I really feel like all love for dietitians, but dietitians work in hospitals usually, and it's people with diseases that have no option, but their doctor sends them to a dietitian. They might not even want to change. Okay.
Right.
So they might not be successful. I'm a nutrition coach. People come to me because they are sick and tired of it and they really want to change.
They're ready for the change.
Yes. They don't
not because someone's telling them they have to do this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, I have the transformational nutrition coaching certification behind me so I can help with your limiting beliefs and self-sabotage and everything else.
Wait, this wasn't just like a class where you're like, oh, I can take this class and it's X amount of units. I feel like you told me you spent like thousands of dollars on this class.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a year long and it was nutrition, but now I'm able to read labs. So, and I work under a medical director where I could order your blood labs. I could add, if you know anything about labs and stuff like that, I could run for like a Dutch test. I could run your blood test to test or saliva test to check your testosterone, your progesterone, stress hormone, your metabolic wellness panel, all kinds of random tests. I could literally test like a doctor can.
Yeah.
But I look at all the tests functionally.
Right.
So when you take these tests and your doctor runs these tests, and they're not even the same test, but when your doctor runs a test, they look at them and they're looking for a disease. So if it's out of range or you don't have a disease, you go to them and tell them, hey, I'm having all these symptoms, like whatever it could be. Let's just say we're talking about thyroid. You're like, I'm always cold. I'm having weight gain in my hips and, my thighs and my stomach, and I'm always tired and all this stuff. And then they'll look at your thyroid, they'll test your thyroid and they'll say, oh, your TSH, oh yeah, it's in range, and your T3 is in range, and T4. Mm-hmm. No, you're fine.
Yes, that's exactly what happened to me.
Yep.
They're like, let's say it's from like 199 to like 2000. Let's say I'm just pulling that out of my ass. And they're like, oh, you're 205, you're fine. But then I had another doctor who was a dietitian who I went to. He said, just because it's 199 to 2000 and you're 205 doesn't mean that that's perfect for you.
Exactly.
So he was more, but then I don't know. He was really, he sold phentermine, but yeah, he was a phentermine doctor, but he also made sure that you changed how you ate and how you looked at food. So, but now fast forward to Debbie doing this for me.
Yeah. And so people are sick of it. And so, Western medicine is great. We need it, but the doctors just throw medications at you.
Right.
Okay. So people are moving to different methods and more functional. And so that is what I am. I'm a functional. And it's weird because it has diagnostic nutrition practitioner, has diagnostic in there, but I don't diagnose anything. That would be practicing medicine. I don't practice medicine. What I do is I listen to you, the person, I listen to all your symptoms, and I say, what, just use your example. You said 199 to 2000 or whatever it was. If you're 198 or 190 or 200, guess what? Your symptoms are going to be off the chart because you're almost under. So when they say you're fine and you can leave now, you leave feeling like you're crazy.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right, because you're in range.
And not satisfied. I left feeling not satisfied because I still didn't have an answer to why I was feeling all these things.
Exactly. And so basically you're having all the symptoms. And so the doctor's treating the piece of paper. They're not treating the person. So a functional naturopathic doctor, a functional nutrition practitioner, a functional dietitian, functional people who practice functional labs and stuff, they will look at it functionally and say, hey, yes, this is the reason why, and your symptoms align with these tests, and this is where it is. So one of the tests that I got certified in is called hair tissue mineral analysis, and basically hair is used for mineral testing because it reflects what's happening inside of our body over a 3 to 4 month period. So and I'm not going to say one is better than the other when in terms of blood test, but blood test is a snapshot in time of today. Where are your levels today?
Right.
Okay. So a hair tissue mineral analysis is growth and all the minerals and all the toxins and all the stress and how you've been eating for over the past 3 to 4 months that gets deposited into your hair. And so when your hair grows out, if like one of the ways to test for drugs, if you've done drugs, is a hair test that holds it for 90 days. So even if you smoke pot or whatever, back in the day, you smoke pot and then maybe less than a month, if they did urine, it was gone.
Right.
But guess what? If they tested your hair, it's going to be in your hair. So that's why they test, if they really want to find out for drugs, they test your hair and it stays there for up to 90 days. So, and that's the reason why, because it gets deposited into your hair. So as our hair absorbs, as our hair grows, it absorbs minerals and other substances from the blood and like the lymph nodes and the fluids in our body, and it reaches the surface, which gets into our soft tissues. And for example, if you have calcium, and I'll explain this later, but if you have calcium in your soft tissue, calcium should not be in your soft tissue. It should only be in your bones and in your teeth. So if it's in your soft tissue, that is a sign that you have something going on in your body. And like I'll explain, you don't have it, but I mean, it would be called
what?
Yeah, what happened?
Right? Like it's called a calcium shell. Like, when somebody, like if you go to the doctor and you're like, oh man, your heart's all calcified. Really, the calcification was really protecting your heart. And so you have lots of calcium buildup in your soft tissue. Basically, it's protecting you from trauma, your mental health, like it's protecting you like a barrier, like a force field, so you're not going crazy. Literally.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's just one example, like for example, calcium. But once the hair reaches the surface, it hardens, it locks the information into our body, and then the mineral levels and toxic exposures that have taken place over that 3 to 4 months are now locked in your hair. So, so it doesn't really matter if you dye your hair. We just have to make sure that we know what kind of dye it is, or somebody who's using like Head and Shoulders that has lots of zinc in it, stuff like that, or selenium or something like that. We just have to know.
So for me, I did like my DNA ancestry, right? So then I did the health part of that, and it came back that I have hemochromatosis.
Mm-hmm.
I carry the gene. So I had the test done, and I do produce more iron, which I'm supposed to be going and donating blood to offset that. And I do feel really good after I donate blood.
Yes.
More energized, actually. So I need to make an appointment to do that.
That's crazy.
Right. I mean, and speaking of iron, when people like yourself, like when we're women and we have our monthly period, we release every month. And so that gets rid of our iron. So that's the reason why. But so when somebody has the IUD and they stop having a period or whatever, they start keeping iron in their body because they're not having a period anymore. So that's what happens. Like, so a functional doctor will go, oh, okay, tell me about this. Are you on hormonal birth control? So we know if we look at something, we'll be able to read and go, oh, okay, well, this might be why their iron is high. And speaking of iron on a hair tissue mineral analysis is just okay. But if you have a blood panel to go with it, it's like Mac Daddy, you know what's going on with your iron. But it's not really the best on just for this one. On hair tissue mineral analysis, I'll say iron's not the best thing by itself.
Okay.
But other minerals are.
Okay.
So basically, This method has been trusted for like over 75 years, and they've been testing minerals in plants, animals, and humans. And so this is literally, and so there's all these different labs that test your hair. The lab that I use is Trace Elements. It's called Trace Elements, and they do not wash your hair because you don't want to wash your hair. So that's one of the good things. But HTMA is sensitive. It's a sensitive test, but it's affordable, like I said, and you could do it from the comfort of your own home. So that's one of the best things. And you don't have to go anywhere. I send it to your house, and that's where it goes. But the minerals are essential specifically, and you're like, what does an HTMA tell you? And I'm going to get into it, but basically it talks about our metabolism. I'll be able to tell you about your adrenals. Like, are they tired? Are you stressed out? Where's your thyroid at? Are you like hypo based on your symptom as well? Are you hypo or hyper? Your immune system, how's your enzyme activity, your hormone balance, and your hormone energy, what types of foods you should be eating, because it will tell you based on the last 3 to 4 months how fast your metabolism is.
Okay.
And so people often they're like, oh, she loses a lot of weight because she has a really fast metabolism, but it's not always good to have a fast metabolism. That means that you're not absorbing nutrients. Like, I have a really fast metabolism, and based off of my HTMA, and I believe it because of my symptoms that I've been having, and I'm not absorbing nutrients. I don't absorb all the nutrients, and I'm just like going through them, right? But just because you have a really fast metabolism doesn't mean you're going to be losing weight really fast. You just have good genetics as well. Right.
I wish that we were on video right now, because my face the whole time, I'm just like, I have my mouth open and I'm just staring at Debbie because
I'm like waiting for your results.
Yeah.
But I do want her to tell everyone, like, what it is and how she gets there. You know what I mean? Because I do have there are people that are interested. I already had someone reach out to me on the Clovis chat. Someone had asked for something, a doctor, and I said this, and then I started talking about this, and she's like, oh, it wasn't even the lady I was talking to. Another lady came on and was like, I'm interested in that. So I gave her Debbie's information. Yeah. And then there was someone else that I was just talking to the other day, and they were like, let me know what your results are, because I'm totally interested and I might want to have that done. And I was like, okay, yeah. Because it's not something that a doctor's going to do for you.
And just to make it clear, we're doing this for information. We're not trying to sell anything.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah.
I mean, but if you are interested, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Get a hold of Debbie. She has her own business. She doesn't need us to promote her. But this was just like something where I was like, hey, this is interesting and people should know, and they should know that it's available to them.
Correct.
Because I didn't know that anything like this was available until Debbie told me. Right. And then I was like, wait, what? Fuck yeah, I'll pay $150 to find out what the fuck is wrong with me. And then I think you said, like, after, and I'm sure you'll get into it, after it's all said and done, you're going to give me like a synopsis of what I need. And then this company will provide it for X amount of dollars. And it's all going to be like together, like compounded, right? Like a compound.
Yeah. So they're the company that will read over all of your results and stuff, because I'm like the expert. I can read over and tell you, yes, the symptoms and this is what it correlates to. But then I send it into like the experts as well, just to make sure that 100% we're good. And it's a company out of Canada that she also was a FDNP, functional diagnostic. She got into HTMA, and then she was like having to people, she didn't but recommended all these different supplements. So if you go if you look right there,
I was looking at see all her supplements.
Yeah. So I'm like, this is ridiculous. Okay. Like, I don't, why are, and we don't even know. It's because we heard that that's what we should do. Right. So what happens is for your metabolic type, for everything on your HTMA, there's like slow oxidizers, fast oxidizers. You'll get what I'm talking about. There's fast 4, there's slow 4, and everybody's different. But some people, like, everybody thinks, oh, wow, I should be taking vitamin D. Well, you shouldn't be taking vitamin D if you're a slow ox, for example, right? Because X, Y, and Z. So what happens is it's a powder, kind of like taking protein powder, but they put all the supplements and nutrients that you need, right? And it's usually it's a 90-day protocol, but the stuff lasts for 4 months because it takes 28 days to titrate. Titrate means, when you go into the doctor, or if you go and look on the back of it on a package, or, a pill bottle, it says take 2 to 4 twice a day. So then everybody's like, oh, I can pop 4 pills, right? No, you need to take 1. Do you have any symptoms? Something like that, right? Nope. So then the next day you take 2, and then you're good. You're not having any symptoms. Because if you just automatically pop 4 pills and you're having bad symptoms, you're like, this doesn't work. I'm sick. Right. And so you have to titrate up. And so then you titrate into the 4 if that's and that's the max you should take.
Interesting. Okay.
So when you're balancing out your minerals, you need to make sure that you titrate, because if your body's weak and like personally, my body's weak. It's crazy. Like you look at me and think, oh, it should be fine.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I'm not. I'm sick. Help me, I'm poor.
For me.
For me.
That's what's crazy about it, is like you look at her and you would not think that your body is weak, but I get what you're saying. Internally, your body is weak. Looking at you physically, you look like a beast. You are. But like inside, your body's fucked up.
Yeah, and it's weird because I am like, wow, if my innards, if my internal body is doing this, I don't feel that bad. I'm literally doing it for preventative maintenance because I just am not showing up with all the symptoms yet.
Right.
Okay.
Yet.
So lucky me, I started this early and I'm starting to take the nutrients and the minerals that I need. And I'm going to tell you, I'm titrating up and I'm like all the way into my 27th day. And I have like 3 more months, but I already feel a little bit better with energy wise, and I don't need any more energy.
You don't need any more energy.
I was like, excuse me, bouncing off the walls.
Yeah, like Tigger, right? Yeah. So that being said, this is where we came with you. And so basically, like I said, she came to me and she was telling me this and I was like, this is like perfect for you. And so the reason why we focus on imbalances and patterns, that's what I focus on, is because people just don't usually have one nutrient. They're not just deficient one nutrient. They have multiple imbalances that can lead to health issues. I said lead to health issues. I'm not telling you that you have hypothyroidism, okay? You have symptoms that are demonstrating hypothyroidism, right? So
that could eventually down the road be a contributing factor.
Exactly. Yeah. So catching and correcting these imbalances early can help improve your overall health and well-being. And for some people, Nikki, like where you're at, you're like, oh, if I can do anything, right? And that's usually where most people are when they come to see an FDN or somebody for HTMA, because most people are like, it's insurance isn't covered, I'm not doing it. Right.
And see me, I'm like, as long as it's not crazy expensive, and I don't think it is. I think $150, and then I think you said it was like $190 or something for the nutrients or whatever. We touched briefly on it, but that is not an expensive to fix me. You know what I mean?
Yes. So that being said,
yes.
Drum roll, please.
Dun, 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 dun. Let's hear. She told me a little tiny bit last night, but it didn't make any sense to me because I didn't know what it meant. So I'm ready to hear.
Okay, so I just want to, I give this like disclaimer to everybody. When I start reading this, people get overwhelmed with these results. Okay, so when I'm giving you these, it might feel a little overwhelming at first, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you everything in writing. I'm going to give you lifestyle recommendations. I'm going to give you diet recommendations, and I'm going to give you like a workout recommendation, like a workout regimen plan. Okay. And
I want to say, I forgot what I was going to say.
That was good. It must have been a lie. My grandma said it must have been a lie. Every time you forget. Must have been a lie.
I know.
It will come back. Maybe you stand up, walk backwards.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not a doctor, so I don't look at your minerals and go, oh, you're low magnesium, you need to take more magnesium. You're low iron, you need to, blah, blah, blah. That's not what I do. I don't say you take less, you need to take more, you need to take less. That's not what I do. I'm looking at your symptoms. I'm listening to all your symptoms. And I had you fill out that NAC.
That's what I was going to say. It wasn't just like this hair follicle thing. I filled out a test for you.
300 questions. And
also they sent me something.
Yes.
Asking me what kind of shampoo I used, if I was on any medication. So it's not like, if you give them all the information correctly, then you'll get it, you'll get back what you need to help you.
Yes.
Okay.
So we look at all the minerals, and then just like macronutrients, protein, carbs, and fat, that's how we get our calories. Well, now when we're talking about micronutrients and nutrients, the Mac Daddy of minerals, just so you all know, so you don't ever forget.
You told me this.
Okay, is calcium, magnesium, sodium, and potassium. Those first 4 minerals have to be balanced out, or everything else, it's kind of like a domino effect. Everything else down the line is just going to be kind of jacked up. Really, okay? In other words, right? So so I want to start out. You fill out that NAC, which is a nutrition assessment questionnaire, and you fill that out. And then in that, it says, what are your top 2 to 3 health complaints?
Yeah.
And you said weight gain, fatigue, and headaches. So Fast forward to your results. And just so you all know, she can't see any of this. So
Nope.
I've like typed this all up and she hasn't looked at anything.
Nope.
So it's easier when she's looking at her own results. So I can say, oh, see, this is what I'm looking at, but she's not looking at it. So I'm just going to read it off.
Okay.
So your weight gain. So you are a slow oxidizer, which means that for you to have the most energy from your food, okay, because that's how we get energy. Energy, aka, is just calories, is food. That's how we, room for the day.
Yeah.
Right. You need to eat. You would be better on like low fat diet and your carbs need to consist of more nutrient dense fiber vegetables. And you need to kind of steer away from like breads, pastas, that kind of food. But you do want starchy food. So you want grains, you want sweet potatoes, quinoa, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So you would do best on a low fat diet. And the reason why is because you are a slow oxidizer. So you burn through fuel through your calories. You burn through fuel very slow. So fast burning, to balance that out, you need fast burning fuel. And fast burning fuel is going to be carbohydrates.
Okay.
Because slow burning fuel is fats. Fats take longer to digest and they're very slow burning fuel. That's why most likely you would not do well in terms of feeling well. You'd probably be like, oh, I'm having the keto flu. If you tried keto.
Yeah.
And so
I did.
Yes.
I got sick.
Yeah, and so people say, they go, if you hear anybody say that they had the keto flu and because they tried keto, high fat, high protein, low carbs, most likely is because they might be slow oxidizers. So
interesting.
Yeah. And so you want to balance that out to give you the most.
I stopped as soon as I got sick. I was like, no, I don't like being sick.
Exactly. No, it sucks, right? And so your metabolic type is slow 1. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and there's fast 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay. And you said I'm a slow 1?
Slow 1.
And you're a slow 4.
I'm a fast 4.
A fast 4. Okay.
Yeah, I can't. Do you see me? I'm withering away right now. So this could lead. So we're talking specifically about weight gain right now, and being a slow 1, this could lead to weight gain as the body processes nutrients and burns calories more slowly. Okay. So to combat that, you want fast burning fuel. So you need to eat like more vegetables and stuff like that. Okay. Right. So I will provide you with a list of foods and stuff like that you could eat. I'm not going to give you a food plan because I know that when people give me a food plan, I end up with like 2 things on it and I don't want to eat anything because I don't like X, Y, and Z. Right. So I give you a bunch of different foods and you decide what you want to eat based off of your slow. Okay. So you are also parasympathetic dominance. And what does that mean? Is that's almost kind of correlated to slow oxidation, slow metabolizer. You're like a more rest and digest type person. And this is found in your calcium to phosphorus. So so your calcium to phosphorus ratio indicates your parasympathetic dominant, which reduces your metabolism. That's what that does. Okay. And so this can contribute to weight gain, particularly in the hips, thighs, and the butt. Okay. So like somebody who has thyroid issues, they could also be parasympathetic dominant.
That's my issue. It's all in the hips.
Your thyroid activity.
Yes.
So thyroid activity, you have a high calcium to potassium ratio, and that suggests decreased thyroid activity, which is hypothyroidism. Okay. Okay. And you do have symptoms of hypothyroidism based on the NAC that you sent me as well. And I also give you all those symptoms that you said. I say, hey, these are symptoms of hypothyroidism. So that's where it correlates it to. And again, which is linked to weight gain, cold hands and feet, fatigue, dry skin, constipation.
I don't have that.
Lucky you.
Well, I guess I do because not to get gross with everyone, but I watched this fucking TikTok video about your poop, right? And she was talking about...
Let's get shitty now.
She was saying something, if this and this, and she goes, and if you poop little pebbles, you're constipated. Yeah. And I do. I poop little pebbles. I'm always like, what? Are there rocks in there?
Are you a fucking rabbit or what?
Yeah, I'm not fucking anything right now, so...
No. I mean, are you...
Am I a fucking rabbit? Yeah. I thought you were asking if I was fucking a rabbit. No.
We can't go one episode without something sexual.
Well,
right. It happens. And it was her. It wasn't even me.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, again, we're still talking about weight loss or weight gain. Excuse me. So, adrenal activity. Okay. Low sodium to magnesium ratio indicates adrenal gland dysfunction. Okay. And which could also lead to fatigue, diminished stamina, and weight fluctuations. Glucose intolerance. I'm not saying you're diabetic, okay?
Yeah.
You just have indicators on that you're glucose intolerant, and your results, like I said, indicate that you have glucose intolerance, and that could lead to weight gain due to poor blood sugar regulation.
Okay.
So if you're, and which also goes back to like if you're eating carbs, like the carbs that are not, there's no emotion in carbs, okay? They're not good or bad. They're just either better for you or not good for you, right? So if you're eating stuff that spikes your blood sugar a lot, spikes it and then brings it down, spikes it and brings it down, that's what causes glucose intolerance.
Like, what would you eat that would spike it and bring it down?
I mean, like bread.
I don't eat bread. I don't eat bread or pasta.
Well, the thing is, I wore a continuous glucose monitor just to test it out, and stuff that everybody's body's different.
Yeah.
So stuff that would normally spike somebody's blood sugar, like beer, that would usually spike your blood sugar. It didn't spike my blood sugar, but some vegetables spike my blood sugar, so really it depends on imbalances in your body.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's most likely, but usually it's going to be like, it could be quinoa, anything that can convert to sugar.
Okay.
Basically, any kind of sweets, those are going to spike your blood sugar and keep it spiked for a long period of time.
And that's, the sweets are my problem. It's not the bread and the pasta, it's the sweets.
Yes. So.
What?
You do like the zero sugar. I don't think you're like a huge sweet person.
Girl. Yeah.
No, we didn't just have a nothing bundt cake. What?
And dessert last night after dinner.
I know, they got me on the nothing bundt cakes today. But that's because my food had time to digest after our damn massage.
Oh, that massage was so good. It was Happy Day Spa, but not a happy ending.
Yeah.
Oh, Happy Day Spa in Sacramento. Shout out. Yeah. It was good. That was nice.
That was a different kind of foot massage because they do like everything.
Well, she took me to a foot massage place in Fresno and you sit in a chair and they do your shoulders, they do your arms. But no, these people actually like you laid on a bed, you turned over. Like I've never had a foot massage like that, but it was good. It was good. Yeah,
I mean, it was because it was Amy, Lily, and Sam.
Yeah. What?
That's who she asked for when we got there.
Yeah.
Yes. Their names weren't Amy, Lily, and Sam.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. They back to weight fluctuations.
Yes.
Here. Okay. So amazing massage. Nothing but cake. We just sweets. Okay. Glucose intolerance here. So, and then you have several indications of copper imbalance, which like on a hair tissue mineral analysis, if your copper shows up low, but then you have all these other symptoms of like adrenal dysfunction, adrenal fatigue kind of, it's called hidden copper toxicity. And so basically copper is considered like the mental health hormone, or excuse me, the mental health mineral. So people who get like panic attacks, depression, anxiety, schizophrenia.
I get all those things minus the schizophrenia.
Yes.
Right. I mean, maybe I am schizophrenic. I don't know, but I do get all those things. I get anxiety and like depression and
And so most likely individuals who have that usually have high copper. And so just so you know, we will not be able to tell until a second test when we start balancing out your minerals because those first four are the most important. Remember I told you copper comes down the line. But what would happen is right now, if I look at yours, your copper shows, your copper shows almost not even in range low. But that being said, I know based off of everything else that I'm looking that it's probably hidden and it's probably in your liver because it hides. It literally hides. And then so when you start balancing out your minerals, it's going to shoot out the roof on the second test, which means that it's moving out of your body. And that's what you want. You want to get that out of your body. But we don't go straight to detoxing heavy metals because it could give you like a Herx reaction. And it sounds so weird. You're like heavy metals, like aluminum and nickel and all that stuff.
Yeah, but it's in everything.
Yes. Yeah. And so like
it's in your deodorant.
Yes. Yeah. And so we get it in our body. And so, I'm sorry. And so it's funny. It's like, as we get older, it's so funny. Before I'm like, I never even would have thought about that. Like the lotions that we put on our skin and the type of pans that we cook with and the aluminum cans that we drink out of and stuff like that.
Sunscreen.
Yes. Sunscreen, like the zinc and the selenium and all that stuff.
I met a guy that like, he only cooks his food in iron pans.
Yes.
Because he's trying to get more iron in his body.
Yes.
And I never even thought about like what pan I used to cook out of.
No.
Until he said that.
We're all going to die, guys.
No. Hey, listen.
Well, at some point.
I'm going to let you guys know I am not all hippy dippy. I've never thought like that. I've never been like that, but I am way more like diligent of what I put in my body now. And I mean, even now I'm like, is it BPA free?
Yeah.
Because I like to microwave stuff. Okay. So I'm going to put that stuff like, I know we're going to die because of microwave, whatever. Right. But I'm saying like, at least the stuff that I'm doing, I'm trying to be the best I can.
Yes.
Right.
How long do you want to live to be?
I know I'm going to live till, well, hold on. If we only have a certain amount of heartbeats in our life, I'm probably going to die maybe tomorrow because my heartbeats are going to be gone. But I mean, like if they're like, you only have 1,776,000 heartbeats, I have lots of energy and I've almost used it all up. Okay. Yeah. But health-wise, well, according to my HTMA, not very long, but I'm balancing it out. I think I'm going to live till I'm older. I mean, I really do think I have lots of energy. And I don't have a lot of stress in my life because I don't have kids. So
just rub it in.
I mean, it does. It adds to it. So I mean, I think I'll be like in my 90s and maybe I think I'll be in my 90s.
Wow.
I don't want to live to be 90.
What? I mean, 75, 80, maybe.
I look at Tia, my aunt. She's 76, and she's still going strong. And I mean, I guess if I live like she does, okay. But if I live how I think I'm gonna live, I don't want to live to be that old.
Yeah. Let me just croak in my sleep.
You know what? And
Debbie's when it's fucking downer.
No, man. When it's time to go, I hope that I just go to sleep one day and just go.
No, for sure.
I don't want to be like having a bunch of health issues and like in the hospital and like don't know what's going on. I just want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
See, and that's where to change the subject a tiny bit. Tia has hoarded medications for years. And so, and I try to tell her, I'm like, you're just going to make yourself sick. So she's like, when it's my time, she goes, and I'm ready. She goes, I'm just going to take all the pills that I've hoarded. And I'm like, and they're not going to have any potency. And you're just going to be sick because you took fucking 500 pills one night.
Tia. Is that funny? I love her.
I know. She's a crack up. But she seriously, that's what she's been doing is hoarding pills for years. Like, and I'm just like, well, after years, there's no potency left in them, right? So you're just going to take all these pills. And what's going to happen is your stomach's going to have to get pumped because you ate 500 pills that did nothing to you but sit in your stomach.
And then you're going to be on suicide watch.
Then she's going to start turning yellow because her liver's shutting down, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, it's no bueno.
I know.
That's Spanish right there.
Yeah.
No bueno.
Don't bring me that rum and coke. No bueno.
Right. All right. So we're done with the weight gain. So like the reason why I'm mentioning this is because your top 3 priorities, this is what you mentioned. Yes. And then we'll go into like exactly everything else because we're almost done.
Weight gain, headaches, and fatigue.
Yep. So headaches. This could be caused by we have 3 different things. So slow metabolism, that could also, right? And so it can go away by the foods that you eat. So, eating, that's why you have more energy. You could start getting rid of your headaches and everything else. That's why food is so important. Okay. Food is medicine. But, whoa. I'm sorry. Am I boring you?
No.
I know. I mean, this is real nerdy stuff. I know. But I'm like over here like, oh my gosh.
It's maybe because we didn't get back to the house till whatever time. I mean, I don't know what time it was, but
we stayed the night with Debbie last night.
It was 1:16.
Well, I'm going to blame Jack in the Box. We were being big backs last night.
Yeah.
And the line was taken. And we only got, did you eat all your potato wedges?
No, I threw half.
Oh, potato wedges.
Yeah.
Yes,
glucose intolerance.
Yeah. I never eat them
to
either.
me.
That's funny.
They're small now.
Yeah, they're super small.
We only need small ones. I mean, we eat our eyes. I personally taste with my stomach. Okay, I eat everything so fast that I wait, and then I'm like, that was good. And yeah, I know I shouldn't, which is awful, right? But that, and we eat with our eyes.
Yeah,
right.
Big Mac, Big Mac.
Do you know what that is on TikTok?
No.
Okay.
Oh my god.
She'll show you when we're done.
Yeah.
So your calcium magnesium ratio is imbalanced. So that imbalance ratio can cause blood sugar imbalances, which is associated with headaches as well.
Okay.
Okay. And then again, copper imbalance, especially around the menstrual cycle, can lead to hormone. Oh, well then, but you still have hormones though.
Yeah.
Yes. And it can lead to hormonal headaches and migraines. So again, fatigue. So the things that can be causing your fatigue there's several like 5 different things that can be causing it according to your symptoms and according to your HTMA test.
Okay.
One's being a slow oxidizer. Okay. Again,
a slow one.
Slow one. Yeah. And just in general, slow oxidation, slow metabolism.
Okay.
And I don't want to like make it sound like you have a slow metabolism because there's slow 4. You're only a slow 1. You're almost a fast 1.
Right.
Okay. Most of us start off as children with fast fast ones, fast twos, right? And as we age and as we stress and everything else happens, and the way we eat and stuff like that, it starts slowing down. So people who are fast, it's because of stress. It could be a fake fast, like basically like a false fast metabolizer. Your stress could cause you to be a fast metabolizer.
Yeah.
So you are a slow one, which there's not one that's better than the other. It's just the foods that you eat are going to make it good or bad. Okay. So again, slow oxidizer, your adrenal glands are kind of like, you have a low sodium to magnesium ratio. It's 0.3. This indicates adrenal gland dysfunction, which can lead to fatigue and diminished stamina, right? Thyroid activity. You have a high calcium to potassium ratio. It's 66. Again, if you were looking at the range, you would see, oh, wow, what's going on here? But it suggests decreased thyroid activity, which is hypothyroidism, and it's linked to fatigue. Again, cold hands, feet, and other symptoms, right? But fatigue is like one of the biggest things. Having the copper balance, you have a high zinc to copper ratio. It's 19, and that suggests copper imbalance, which can interfere with energy production and contribute to fatigue. And then low sodium and potassium levels. Remember, I said what Mac Daddy of minerals is calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium, and you have low sodium and potassium levels with both sodium 3 and potassium 1 levels are very low, which can lead to fatigue, weakness, and poor energy levels. Yeah. So those were the three main.
Yep, to all those things.
And then, I typed this out, so. I misspoke. You still have a couple more. Magnesium levels. You have a high magnesium levels. So
really,
yes, you do. And it's 10.1, which could indicate a loss because it's so high, but we won't know until we start balancing it out. But based off of, what I'm looking at, high magnesium level may indicate that magnesium is being lost through the hair, resulting in deficiency symptoms such as fatigue. Okay. Like I just said, right? Yeah. And then, what kind of shampoo do you use?
Native.
Okay. Do you know if you use anything or like beauty products with selenium in them? Because
no, I don't even know what that is.
Okay, so you have your selenium levels are you have low selenium levels, and that can contribute to impaired detoxification, thyroid gland activity, and leading to fatigue.
Okay.
So that is that. So the cool thing about that, okay, so those are your three top, and usually I don't go straight to that. I usually go over it, I wanted to really bring up those three main, just to show you that all this stuff correlates with all the stuff that you are having, right? But on each ratio, so there was all the single minerals. Like I said, I look over the first four, then all the single minerals. I do not look at those minerals. I look at them in relationship to another one, and those are called significant ratios. So of the significant ratios, calcium to phosphorus is our autonomic balance ratio, basically our nervous system. That's where I told you about your sympathetic or parasympathetic. Yes. Remember I brought that up? So your calcium to phosphorus ratio is 3.3, and that suggests parasympathetic dominance, indicating a slow metabolism. Okay? That's where I got that from. So that's your calcium to phosphorus ratio. Sodium to potassium, that's the NAK, and it's like real nerdy, chemistry. Yeah. Remember the chart?
Yeah, I was just going to say, is that from the periodic table or whatever?
Yes. And so if you could picture the periodic table, anything that's in line, like if NA is right here and then K was below, which it's not, but NA, because I don't have the periodic table in front of me, all those minerals all kind of act the same. They'll give you like the same kind of symptoms, close symptoms, right? But because that's what they do. But sodium to potassium is your stress ratio. Okay. So that's considered our stress ratio.
And mine was what?
Yours is hers is 3 point. It's above optimal, indicating acute stress, inflammation, and potential congestion in your kidneys, liver, and adrenal function. So congestion means like you might need to take adrenal and liver just to help kind of flush things out and detox. And so the reason why I give lifestyle and diet recommendations and exercise is because if you go and start doing HIIT exercises, guess what? You are just adding stress onto your body, which is now maintaining more stress, making you more stressed out. So that's the reason why, because when you have when you have adrenal fatigue, basically, there's no reason that you should go kill yourself doing like HIIT exercises because you think this is the only way to lose weight.
Right.
Because all you're doing is now creating more and
Stress
making
for
more
yourself.
stress. Yeah,
Okay.
you're stressing your body out because it's like chemical, biochemical, external, physical. So these are external factors now causing more havoc on your body.
Okay.
So that's the reason why I give you workouts that are good, like yoga. Okay. Some people are like, I hate yoga. It's not fast enough for me. Well, it's not fast enough for
yoga.
you. Yeah. But I mean, no, I'm not saying that everybody, I'm just saying, somebody who's like, go, go, go. And they're like, I never probably would have done yoga before, but here I am being a hot Pilates instructor now, right? I will eventually do yoga, and I do vinyasa once in a while, but having too like working too hard and doing too much workout, like doing too many workouts is also going to cause a lot of stress in your body. So
interesting.
Yes. Your calcium to potassium ratio, that's the CAK, that is considered your thyroid ratio.
Okay.
Okay. And yours is very high. It's a very high ratio, and it suggests hypothyroid symptoms, which you already have, such as weight gain, fatigue, and dry skin.
Yes.
Okay.
So dry. Like my one leg where my tattoo is, this leg. So the other night I was like scratching. I mean, it was itching, right? And I lifted up my fucking pants and my whole leg was just like dry. It was so dry. I was like, what the fuck?
Nikki is looking for a man if you want to come itch her leg.
Lotion her up,
Dude.
She would love you too.
Well, I am the worst at putting lotion on in the wintertime too.
It's okay. He'll put it on for you.
Yeah.
The summertime I do because my body's exposed, but in the wintertime, my body's not exposed. So I'm
bad with it in general.
Yeah.
So am I. But if you do pick the lotions...
I thought you were going to say, if you do pick a man to put lotion on you...
Hey, put the lotion on the skin.
It puts the lotion on.
So,
now, if I do pick lotion, what are you telling me? Don't pick... Is there like a certain kind that I should use? Because something has something in it that I shouldn't have, right?
Yeah, and I'll give you those recommendations. Okay. Yeah, because, and again, it's all very... That's where I get into the hippy dippy thing now, because you don't want to put a bunch of trash on your skin.
Right.
Yeah. So I give you I give people websites. I give you a choice, okay? I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm like, hey, check it here to see if...
But this is why I switched to the native shampoo, because it's organic, it's this, it's that, like the ingredients, you can read them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did feel, though, that it was making my hair very dry. So I have switched since using it. But I went to some L'Oreal product. But, like, who knows what that's doing? Now you're making me question what that's doing to my body because I don't know. You know what I mean? It's not... my head is itching now thinking about it. Because it's not organic.
Right.
You know, it's L'Oreal. It's whatever I picked. And my aunt does the same thing, and she was a hairdresser for years, but now she uses like fucking Pantene or something on her hair because she lives on a fixed income and it's what's cheap and what she can get and it makes her hair feel good. But at the end of the day, like, you were a cosmetologist. You should know that, like, this Pantene isn't going to be as good for you as, Redken or whatever the other brand is out there.
And that's what I use now too. And I've realized, like, you don't need a whole bunch of... like a dime size, really. I mean, my hair is so thin, though.
Yeah, mine too.
You really don't need a whole lot. So the bottles, they're pricier, but...
Less is more.
Yeah.
And I also don't wash my hair every day like I used to. I wash my hair twice a week.
Yeah, I don't wash my hair every day.
I wash mine every day.
Yeah.
Well, actually, not yesterday or today. But that's not normal for me.
And I wash my hair every day, except not today or yesterday.
I know, like normally. I'm trying to do something different.
And then the dry shampoos, though. I started reading up on the dry shampoos and all the crazy shit that's in them. So I tried to make my own dry shampoo, but it was like, because I have dark hair, it was cocoa powder and some like arrowroot powder or something. Okay. And so I put it in my hair and I'm like, man, I just want chocolate all the time now because my head smells like chocolate.
Yeah. Yum.
Cocoa powder.
That's what it is.
Okay. But the thing is, this right here is not to make you go, oh my God, and like start becoming like a hypochondriac
I'm not
of
going
like
to.
all chemicals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's.
But you need to be more mindful.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. We're almost done.
Okay.
So zinc to copper is our hormone and energy regulation ratio. And that's where I was talking to you about copper deficiency, hitting copper toxicity. But basically, what can trigger copper release is like when you do detox programs, hormonal changes, stress or adrenal fatigue, nutritional therapy aimed at balancing minerals. That's what we want. If you have too much copper, we really do want it to exit the system. And like, detox like through saunas, through dry brushing, through lymphatic massage.
And I bought a dry brush.
Yeah. I mean, you have to detox your body, and most people would, I mean, I wouldn't even thought about this before, but you want those to get out of your body.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yours was
You said it was high. My copper was high.
Your
low.
No, your zinc, your copper is showing low right now.
Okay.
But you have a lot of indicators. Like we have indicators that show, and you have a lot of indicators that show you have hidden copper toxicity.
Okay.
But your zinc to copper ratio is high, and it indicates potential copper deficiency or biounavailability, which can affect hormone and energy regulation. So biounavailable, it kind of means it's there, but it's not getting into your cells. It's just causing havoc.
Okay.
Okay. Same thing with thyroid, what we were talking about earlier. You have TSH for thyroid. This is not even about this, but we were talking about thyroid. TSH is the the thyroid hormone, T3 and then T4. So you go to the doctor, they say, yeah, you haven't, your thyroid's fine. And then your T3 is okay. And your T4 is okay. And your T4 has to be converted to T3 to be usable. But what's happening is all your other minerals are not balanced out. So the T3 is not getting into the cell. So that's why you're having thyroid symptoms.
Okay.
So your thyroid might be fine.
Yeah, that's what they're telling me.
Yes. However, it's the other imbalances that we're talking here that might help, and you could literally start having more energy.
Yes,
less
that's
fatigued,
what I want.
all the stuff. Yes. And then, so let's see.
I need your energy.
Yeah.
Right.
Bottle that shit up.
And then
sell that shit.
Sell it. I wish I could sell it. Just, I don't know where I get it. According to my HTMA, though, I shouldn't be like this. Maybe I'm a fast four. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Last, adrenal, your sodium to magnesium ratio is the NAMG.
Okay.
NAMG. That's your adrenal health ratio, and yours was very low. 0.3, and that's why I talked about adrenal gland dysfunction, and it could leading to fatigue and poor digestion.
Okay.
And I remember you talking to me about my digestion a while ago. I remember like, oh, all this stuff. So like other symptoms that you could have is fatigue, diminished stamina, depression, weight fluctuations, poor digestion,
Yeah, the depression, yeah. They put me on medication it was actually for my migraines. It's Cymbalta, but like, where you were talking about how like taking a little bit, like, so they put me on 20 milligrams for 2 weeks, then it was 40 milligrams for 2 weeks. Then I'm supposed to stop like 60 milligrams after the third 2 weeks. But I never made it that far. I actually stopped taking it altogether because I did the 2 weeks of 20 milligrams. And then when I started on the 40 milligrams, it made me so nauseous that I couldn't continue to take it anymore. So I stopped taking it altogether. So I'm going to have to go back and see it was a neurologist that, and it wasn't for depression, but that's what Cymbalta is for. So it was kind of like a double edge, it's going to help both these things. But now listening to this, maybe I don't need that. You know what I mean? I just need to like clean myself up, clean up my diet, do the things. I'm
telling you.
Yeah. And I'd rather do that than have to worry about taking Cymbalta for the rest of my life.
Yes. And so then after I've like read everybody's results, and now I've read that there's a little bit more, but that's like the main things that when somebody would come to me and it tells about your, like, it's like a bird's eye view of an overall area. And what that helps me what my main goal is, yes, I want to help you balance out all that stuff, but my main goal is usually people are coming to me for nutrition. And then I'm like, hey, this is what I do. And I really think that we should test this out because really, and they're like, oh,
because
also
you can't really give them a nutrition plan unless you know what else is going on with them.
No,
because you would, like, if you gave someone a nutrition plan for me, for instance, and you told me, don't eat, you need to be high fat, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's obviously not for me.
Nope.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so we will start off as, when I give you your nutrition, I'm going to like, hey, and I'm going to give you your list. I'll give you like, hey, every time you look at your plate, make sure that there's this amount, like I'll give you percentages.
Yeah.
And not everybody wants to log their food. Okay. And I meet you where you're at. Yes. And
she tried this with me.
And that's stressful. You know what I'm saying? It's way easier just to go, are you eating protein with every meal? And so like when you just go, oh, and like if you look at your food and go, is there protein? Oh shoot, I need to get some protein, right?
Yeah, even yesterday when we stopped like on our way here, I was like, I wanted something to snack on. Well, I bought protein cookies.
Yeah.
Because I know I need the protein, you know what I mean? And I wanted something a little sweet, so I bought those Larry and David or whatever they are. I got the protein like cracker cookies, whatever. They were good.
Yeah.
I mean, they were a little weird tasting, but like it was.
But they were good.
They were good though, considering, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's wrap this up, and
Yep.
maybe should we get like a second part in? Do you have more information for me?
No, I mean, literally, the last part is what I do for you after I read all these results is I give you, your diet recommendations, I give you workout recommendations and lifestyle. And literally, and of course, you'll get your supplements, but you will get supplements. But the thing is, there's no reason, and do not waste your money on one more supplement if you are not changing lifestyle or diet.
Right.
Like I'm telling you, anybody who's taking pills because they think it's
But
good
also,
for them,
don't waste your money on supplements if you don't know what you need. Don't
Exactly.
be out there trying to guess, because that's what I feel like everyone does.
Mhm.
You know, my aunt's like, oh, you need more magnesium, you need more D, you need more this. How do you know that? You're
You
not.
definitely need some more D.
I don't have any D. Don't you worry about that, ma'am.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, but the thing is, everybody's taking what they think is good for them because they watch TikTok and they watch the
Exactly.
Instagram and the influencers that are 20 years old because they look. Come on, they're not taking this.
Right.
Somebody's selling them and telling them to say they took this. So we are thinking this and we like want that body or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Go find somebody around your age it actually has like some life experience.
And that's what I was trying to do, but it always led to the road of my thyroid.
Mhm.
So that's why I was like, I diagnosed myself. I have Hashimoto's because I had everything on that fucking list. And I went by a diet, an autoimmune diet, and I did feel better.
Yeah.
But it makes sense after you're telling me all this. Of course I would feel better because all the things that I'm doing would lead for that to happen. But I wasn't feeling great because there was still other parts that were missing. So.
Yeah, I mean, and so if you change your lifestyle, you change your diet and eat what's going to give you more energy, and you add that supplementation. But I don't care if you take supplements or not. You could get everything through the food that you eat.
Yeah.
But that's what helps supplement what you're missing in your diet.
So with that being said, so Roger that.
Roger that.
Roger that.